not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Chronic Gamer. My name is Matt, and this is my final thoughts and redirect for the finale of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. Oh man, my hair on my arms and the chills down my spine were throughout this entire reaction, pretty much. I was left speechless again at so many parts, and this was just an amazing series compared to the prequel series that everyone said I should have watched second. This was so much better than Fate Zero, in my opinion, and I'm glad that I watched them in this order because I think that I would have found Fate Zero underwhelming if I had watched this one first. So yeah, like I said, I'm glad I watched it in the order that I watched it. Shiro, damn. So he realized that his projections are just can be anything from his mind and anything that he could think up, and he used that to his advantage to defeat Gilgamesh. He had to take the crest from Reen in order to be able to have the amount of magic he needs so that she supplies him the magic he needs to be able to use the Unlimited Blade Works and enter the Reality Marble, where he was able to ultimately beat the shit out of Gilgamesh, cut him up, all sorts of craziness, and I loved every last second of it. And I'm so glad that at least for now, Gilgamesh is gone. He did say something like, "You were able to beat me this time," or "You're stronger than me for now." So I don't know if he'll be able to come back. He did say that before he was swallowed up by the Holy Grail itself. So he may not be able to come back. That may have just been him talking shit one last time before he was able to be destroyed. But he wanted to erase all of humanity because he thought that they were inferior beings, self-centered, mongrels. I mean, he gave a whole list of reasons, and a lot of his points were valid. Humans looking out for themselves and having them be selfish creatures with wishes that only benefit themselves and not for the sake of the species as a whole. And he looked down on us, and he thought that erasing us would be the best option. But Shiro, being the hero of justice that he wants to be, decided that he wants to save everybody, of course. And he took him on, and it was really badass to see him come into his own and to see him be able to ultimately defeat Gilgamesh, even though he had some help from Archer, who somehow was able to come back to say what he had to say there at the end. And he kind of came to terms with who this version of Shiro is. He still thinks that he's right and that it may be a futile effort, but at least he's giving this Shiro a chance to make his own decisions and travel his own path and maybe have a different outcome than he did himself. So I really like that as well. And yeah, I could have done without them saving that Shinji fucker. That guy was an asshole. Not just the fact that he was against them, but he was just a creep. Like, you know, touching up on Reen and taking pleasure in seeing them like get maimed and killed and tortured. And I think he would have raped her if he had the chance. Like, that guy was just a creep, and I could have done without him living. But they decided to save him because he's included in saving everyone. So I guess it is what it is. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this series, and I'm glad that I watched it, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here with the Heaven's Feel movies, which aren't completed. I think there's only 2, and there's supposed to be 3. So when that last one comes, that'll be fun to revisit and watch when the time comes. But yeah, I will be starting with Heaven's Feel next week, and we'll see where it goes. I'm betting that it's going to have some of the characters that we saw in the epilogue at the end of this series, like the girl with the blonde hair, and maybe that older guy who asked Shiro why he's there. But yeah, I have no idea really where it's gonna go from here. It seemed like it wrapped up at the end of this, and I'm hoping that it continues with Shiro and Rin and we get to see more of them. It may be an entirely different thing that takes place after this. I don't know. I guess there are going to be more Holy Grail wars. I'm not sure if there will be or not. It seemed like they were trying to fight this to end the Holy Grail wars, but I don't know if they were able to succeed in that or not. But yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. And yeah, sorry, I ended up cutting that a little shorter than I wanted to because my daughter knocked on the door and she needed something. But I wanted to touch up on a few other things real quick, like the artwork and the animation. I know I've mentioned this many times before, but the animation in these series are just above and beyond of what you would normally see. I know they use a lot of CGI to help with their animation, but it works perfectly in these situations. Not every anime has to be, hand-drawn or frame by frame, and they did a great job with their use of CGI, which sometimes can ruin animes, in my opinion, when it looks out of place, but they did perfectly. It didn't look out of place at all. It blended perfectly with the 2D animation that they had, and I really, really like the artwork and the animation. I really like the characters. I like Shiro. I like Rin a lot. I hope that they end up living happily ever after, as they said in the epilogue there. And that this isn't the end of their story, and that we get to see more of them in the movies and get to find out what becomes of them, and I'm hoping that it continues with them. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm sorry I ended up cutting that out because of my daughter knocking on the door, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to see the first Heaven's Feel movie, check out my Patreon. It's probably going to be up within 24 hours of this video. I normally post my early access reactions within 24 hours of the current YouTube video. So if you're interested in watching that early, check that out. Link in the description. And until next time, I'm Chronic Gamer. Peace.